Just doing a short video about my own struggles in magic and what I shared with many of those older who's been practicing for a long time, like Sarot the Mage. He's talking about it quite freely on his channel as well. It is about the courage, endurance and persistence you need to force through. And I see it myself, since for me it's always been spiritual, but forcing spiritual growth with magic, since you force yourself and you connect to spirits, and since you're doing it by forcing to grow more quicker than it might have otherwise happened, there is some downsides. And this is in every occult circle you hear this warning and nobody listens. You lose everything, often 1 to 3 times at least throughout your life. And that everything might mean something you love, something that you hold so important that nothing else matters. And that's the most important thing in your life, and that is one of the why many stay as armchair occultists, since they don't want to face that. And that is something that I think happens in any kind of magic practice and spiritual practice as well. You have to go through these loops to grow and learn to not to cling on to things. And you have nothing. Many loses their homes, their abundance and their health, and you have to start all over again, rebuilding your life all over once more. And I know for a fact that I rebuilt my life 5 times, from scratch to abundance, scratch to abundance. And it's been through accidents that I wasn't cause of that happened to me. And there are those significant things that seems to happen more to those who have been forcing their way just like I have. And then there is the phase when no magic works. You are forced to face all your fears and learn different things and to study hard, and that happens usually within the first 3 years. What we used to work don't work. The deities you work with don't appear, and so you have to really start to get in deep there. And illnesses, since often magic forces if somebody's done magic on you as well, it might happen that you get an unexpected Kundalini awakening there. And when these chakras are being cleared, as when I was young, I didn't know anybody who did yoga or anything. So you had these periods where you had bad eyesight, bad hearing, different. I had ulcers in my stomach, and those all things seems to happen straight one after one another. And you went to the doctor, and he wondered what was up with you, since you had the medical proof that something was happening, but you didn't have the knowledge of anybody who could tell you about these. And where I lived, yoga was very forbidden, and it was a hippie thing, and New Age hasn't really made its mark, and so on. And then you start to experience this frequent smaller, I call them smaller, dark nights of the soul. That, let's say, to keep it simple, that during a moon phase every month you are really in the dark. You face you just become dark, and you have to face all your fears and everything you fear and so on. And this happens monthly. And that is also one thing that you start to change and evolve. So it's much like a spiritual awakening, but also it combines different elements. And here's what everybody usually if you practice magic and you connect to the angels, you will go through it at least once, being completely broken to be rebuilt up again. And that is a long, deep, long, dark night of the soul. And for me, I had one that lasted for 7 years. And it was seeking the divine, answering, but to no prevail. And there was no spiritual response. I kept on doing the magic. And I could call upon a spirit by that, but I didn't feel it within my heart, so I didn't have the response, the spiritual response indeed, but I kept on doing the practices and just accepted that I was in that phase, and there is no way you can break out of it unless you have really a divine connection there. So I started to seek for deeper and deeper knowledge there. And suddenly the healing power of magic started to interest me. I was all about protecting others and helping the land and helping to protect those who were abused and whatever problems they had. And then the deep transformation takes up to 7 years, and that happens on a cellular level within your body as well. Since after that, every cell you had in your body 7 years ago has transmuted, so you don't have the same hair if you cut your hair. And you don't have, your skin isn't, everything has changed within your body as well. And this happened to me after 3 years already. You don't want what you did in the beginning, and that's where the connection to the Holy Guardian Angel starts. I wanted to only protect people. I wasn't so interested in the spiritual aspect, and suddenly it starts to become spiritual, and the protection stays with me. But there are many elements in magic that I've never even tried, like glamour magic or those things. They just don't interest me. Or how to find a love or anything like that. That hasn't never, but it might be because I was born into a family like that, that it never, they did that and I didn't want to become like them, so. And your magic changes, and it's all about divine connection in my case. And what used to be important fades away, so all my priorities before has changed, so they are not main priorities anymore. They might be a necessity for living, but they are not the priority in that case. And I'm talking about my own experience here, and you know, and or you feel called to connect to higher hierarchies, to learn more, find new challenges, and you feel happy only when doing magic for others. Doing magic for yourself doesn't give you anything. And then there is that you want to share, and there's no secret. So for many decades ago, I started to just tell everybody, this is how I did it, this is the book, and there is no secrets and holding back. Whether it's my failures or my successes, there is no secrets, there is nothing to hide really. Unless when I work on magic for others, since I have the code of silence, if somebody tells me something, they need help with something, you can't tell that to anybody else. So that's the way it's secret, that you do something that somebody else needs, but you can't tell their name, you can't do anything, so that is keeping the secret for me. And you don't reveal what they need, since that is, if you promise an angel to do, and ask the angel to do magic for others by helping them, and the angels never gossip, so neither should you. So you can't pull out anything, oh, I manifested this on behalf of this and he won so many $1,000 when I called on this angel. Nothing like that is what I practice. If there is a success, I wouldn't tell anybody about it. If somebody talks about themselves and have their own, post it on Facebook or whatever they do, and Instagram, and mentions my name, that's their thing, but nothing I ever seek or have asked for, since that is not a part of magic. You do it for others, you don't do it for yourself, and otherwise you lose the divine connection there. Being of service to others. And also what happened for me was a deep interest in philosophy, science, religion and healing of animals and the lands. It started with healing animals and land, cleaning up water and the place. And then there, of course, there is the mystical holy quest that I'm on. That is the searching and longing and praying for divine connection. So instead of trying to force through to divine connection, there is my daily prayers, my Enochian magic. And while I do the magic for others, my prayers also helps me to bring closer to the divine. So that is a combination of everything. I don't ask anything for myself, but throughout my prayers, for the magic to work and to connect, that is also being on a mystical quest for me. And that is the difference, is that seeking out the divine out of love instead of need. And that has been a complete life changer for me. Since when you first enter the first time of the dark night of the soul, you have a need. You need to fill a hole. Suddenly you come out of love and longing and not longer for need. Here, look at me, I want your help, I want a connection. It is out of love that you long and search. And that